art lost its spark and the act of creating is exhausting. Or maybe you're not there yet, but someday you might be, and this video will be useful then. Or, by some stroke of luck, you may never get to the place where art is horrible, but I'll bet if you draw, you're going to know someone who goes into the pit. It's not lack of ideas, it's not quote-unquote art block. No, the pit is being tired, having the ability to make art, but for the whole process to be a drag, where your enemy is the first line and every line after that. At its worst, it becomes complete and total lack of enjoyment. Burnout. Sometimes you may even think, I hate art. I don't want to make it anymore. You might feel this way but dare not say it aloud, because to talk about how you don't like drawing anymore would make it real. And you don't want it to be real. You want to like making art like you used to, but secretly, you have to force yourself to pick up a pen. It's not fun anymore. It's work. And that feeling gets heavier and heavier with every project and every year until you're sure this is it. This is what it's going to be like forever. You'll never enjoy creating ever again. But that's not true. Art can be fun again. It's going to take some changes, but you can do it. Before I get into solutions, let's talk about how the pit of art dread happens, because there are different causes, and you need to know which ones fit you to pick solutions that are actually going to help. Like, if you don't sell your art, changing your business strategy isn't going to get you out of the pit. So, causes. There are 3 broad categories that explain why you don't like creating stuff anymore. The first is the bundle of reasons that include things like studying too hard, practicing the same thing over and over, nothing challenging or new when you draw, and making exclusively one type of art for a long time. For lack of a better word, I'll summarize all of these as boredom. Next up, perfectionism. Symptoms of perfectionism include having grand goals and really high expectations for yourself, never finishing anything, excessively reworking a piece, and spending a lot of time on social media. The last one fits the group because modern social media is designed to show you remarkable outliers, which makes it easy to drown yourself in comparisons and lose motivation. Third thing that might make you hate art when you used to love it, depression. The persistent kind that sucks the joy out of everything. Depression is an interesting problem because you might have started making art to combat it, and now hopefully if that's the case, the art helped and it continues to help. But when you have depression, it's possible that over time making art loses its power and becomes part of the depressive cycle. When making art causes you to be more depressed, then clearly art therapy is no longer a solution. Which brings me to the last cause of not liking art anymore. You sell art. You made art into a business or a career. If this last case applies to you, I suggest taking a look at it first, because art as a job can really suck the joy out of it. If you're selling 1 or 2 things here and there every few months, or if you do a craft show once in a while, that's probably not affecting you. But the more serious you get about making money with art, the less you get to do what you want. Being a career artist means you make art because you have to, not because you want to. So it should be pretty straightforward why art loses its enjoyability over time. But even then, even in that case, you can be a professional artist and claw back what you loved about art. After all that setup, now I'm going to walk you through the 3 strategies to make art fun again. And then I will give you the big secret. Now, the 3 strategies are address underlying issues, do something different, and make trash. Number 1 is why I did all that talking earlier. By now, the solution for you might be self-explanatory. If you're sick of doing hand studies, stop doing them. If you never finish something, finish it. Even if it sucks, doesn't matter. You have to break whatever pattern you're stuck in. Do you endlessly scroll others' art? Get rid of that app, put your phone in a different room, etc. I don't want to get into the psychological nest of how to change a behavior, but if you know you have a habit you want to break, look up tips on breaking a habit. Let that be the one thing you do after the video ends. Boredom's easier to fix. Perfectionism and depression are things about yourself that you learn to manage over time. You can do research on methods to tackle either of these, and I recommend it because what works for you will be a bit unique, and you have to experiment to figure it out. For art perfectionism, setting time limits, posting your imperfect art anyway, aiming for 70% quality to call it done, and doodling stuff that doesn't matter are common coping tactics. Oh yeah, and get off the internet. The internet's so bad for perfectionism, I swear. Don't look at anybody else's work for a while. Stop watching so many tutorials. You know enough. You know enough. Depression. When you can't afford therapy, journaling, physical activity, and outdoor morning sunlight are all scientifically proven mood managers. Physical activity can be puny as a 10-minute walk. Actually, it's best if you spread your activity into multiple short sessions each day instead of one weekly big gym workout, which is good because I hate the gym. Sorry, gym enthusiasts. I can walk outside for free. So when it comes to addressing underlying issues with why you don't like art anymore, there's an important question you must ask. Why did you start drawing in the first place? Did you have a story you wanted to tell? Did you want attention? Did you need an activity to escape from a terrible life or distract from the ever-endless pit of existential dread? What is it that you wanted out of art? Now, is the thing you wanted what art is doing for you right now? You wanted to make a story, are you? Because there's no point to all that study if you don't use it. You might learn to hate art because somehow you got distracted from the whole point and started to believe that you had to be this good or understand anatomy or perspective to make a comic. You don't. Use art for what you want right now. If you need escapism, art better be helping you escape because, my gosh, if it's not, there's so many other activities you could be trying. Issues aside, here's our second tactic. Do something different. Art is a huge field. I mean, you could say cake decorating is art. Music is art. Wood carving is art. So you've spent a bunch of time learning to draw digitally or on paper, but have you ever tried sculpting a little mushroom out of clay? Have you ever sewn, knitted, metalwork, used actual paints on canvas? It's just so vast. And everything you try will teach you something new about your favorite way to draw. So if you don't like art anymore, do a different kind of art. Just try it. Be crap at it. Explore. And while you're there, how about tactic 3? Make trash. Art doesn't have to be interesting. It doesn't even have to be good. You want to get out from under all the pressure and expectations and demands on yourself? Make just garbage. Silly doodles. Comics about dumb things or random jokes you come up with. Mindless scribbles, angry violence. Don't even try. Let the art be more about the idea than it is about the technique or execution. How to make art fun again? Be free. Make trash with no purpose and no plans to post it anywhere. Heck, fold it up and recycle it when you're done. Unless you want to keep it. That's plenty of info on those 3 key strategies to rescue yourself from art drain. So now I've got to tell you the big secret. What I'm about to say is the greatest taboo, such an incredibly cursed word that I rarely hear it uttered, but it works. If you used to love making art and now you hate it, quit. Yeah, that's right, quit. You are allowed to quit art. Now some of you are going to have the immediate reaction, but I can't quit. Art is like breathing. I have to do it. Then what are you scared of? Quit. Quit for as long as you like, because you know what? If art is part of the very fiber of your existence, you won't be able to escape it. You can take a break for 5 years, 10 years, and it'll sneak into your life no matter what you do, like some covert art ferret. I can't stress this enough. Doing art all the time is not good for you, and it's not good for your art. It's especially not good for you if art is your job. And the main symptom of having done too much art for too long is that you now loathe it. You're tired of drawing. Now, you should hardcore quit if you can, but if you can't, you don't have to big quit. You can little quit. Like, just quit that one thing you don't like about drawing. Or quit drawing every single day. Maybe draw once on the weekend. Did it ever occur to you that art might be a villain? Art could be the one thing preventing you from realizing that you really like cooking ratatouille. How are you going to know if cooking or playing the guitar or joining a D&D campaign might make you healthier when your entire current life is nothing but drawing, which is apparently making you miserable? Just a thought. Less art means more time. And for my fellow career artists out there, it's doubly important. You need to do things after work on the weekends that are not art related. The reason for this is because, unlike everybody else, our brains have wired art to mean work, and the best way to refresh yourself from work and hate it a little less is to not do it. Don't do the work. Have a real weekend. There's plenty of research on burnout that supports this. You have to get away from art to love it again. And that might mean cutting freelance hours and getting a non-art part-time job. Terrifying as that sounds, it'll restore your sanity and liberate your art from the crushing weight of survival. Whew, that's all for now. If you're still listening, have you ever lost your enjoyment for creating art? Did you get it back? And if you did, how?